Nora slammed the door shut behind her, her hands trembling as she clutched the divorce papers that had just been served at her kitchen table. The ink was still fresh, accusing her of infidelity that tore her family apart, but the real shock was the name listed as the other woman, Nova, her once casual neighbor who had borrowed a cup of sugar one rainy afternoon. In that moment, as her husband's car sped away with their daughter in the back seat, Nora realized the simple act of kindness had unraveled her entire life, forcing her to confront a truth she'd buried for years. She stared at the empty driveway, the autumn leaves swirling like accusations in the wind. How had it come to this? Just 6 months ago, life in their quiet suburban neighborhood in upstate New York seemed picture-perfect. Nora, 32, married to Mark for 8 years, mother to little Emma, working as a graphic designer from home while juggling PTA meetings and family dinners. But perfection was a fragile illusion, one that cracked the day Nova moved in next door. Nova was everything Nora wasn't. Bold, unapologetic, with a laugh that echoed through the fences like a challenge. At 29, she was a freelance photographer, her house filled with canvases of raw, emotional portraits that captured the hidden pains of everyday people. Nora first noticed her unloading boxes from a beat-up truck, her muscles flexing under a tank top, tattoos peeking out like secrets. "Hey neighbor," Nova had called out with a grin, waving as if they'd known each other forever. Nora waved back politely, but something stirred inside her, a curiosity she quickly dismissed as neighborly interest. That evening, as rain pounded the roof, a knock came at the door. Nora opened it to find Nova drenched, holding an empty measuring cup. "Sorry to bother you," Nova said, water dripping from her short hair. "I'm baking cookies for a client meeting tomorrow, and I'm out of sugar. Mind if I borrow some?" Nora hesitated, glancing back at Mark watching TV in the living room, but she nodded, leading Nova to the kitchen. As she poured the sugar, their fingers brushed, and Nora felt a jolt, like electricity in the storm outside. Nova's eyes lingered a second too long, and Nora pulled away, heart racing. They chatted briefly about the neighborhood, Nova sharing how she'd moved from the city after a bad breakup. "Needed a fresh start," she said with a shrug, her voice carrying a hint of vulnerability that made Nora want to ask more. But Emma toddled in, demanding attention, and the moment passed. Nova thanked her and left, but not before slipping a business card into Nora's hand. "In case you need photos or just a chat." Days turned into casual encounters, waving over the fence, sharing gardening tips. Nora found herself looking forward to those glimpses of Nova, her mind wandering during quiet moments at her desk. Mark noticed her distraction but chalked it up to work stress. "You okay, babe?" he'd ask, kissing her forehead. Nora would smile and nod, but inside doubts festered. She'd always felt something missing in her marriage, a disconnect she couldn't name. Therapy sessions years ago had labeled it postpartum depression, but now with Nova's presence next door, it felt like something deeper, more forbidden. One afternoon while Emma napped, Nora decided to return the favor. She baked muffins and knocked on Nova's door. Nova answered in paint-splattered clothes, her studio a chaos of lights and props. "Come in." "Perfect timing, I need a break." They sat on the porch sipping coffee and talk flowed easily. Nova opened up about her ex, a woman who cheated, leaving her heartbroken. "Love's a battlefield, right?" Nova said, her eyes meeting Nora's with intensity. Nora swallowed hard, sharing her own frustrations. Mark's long hours at the law firm, the routine that suffocated her creativity. For the first time, she voiced the emptiness she felt, and Nova listened without judgment. As weeks passed, their friendship deepened. Nora started visiting Nova's studio, posing for casual shots that made her feel seen, beautiful in ways Mark never articulated. One evening after a neighborhood barbecue where Mark flirted harmlessly with another mom, Nora stormed over to Nova's, tears in her eyes. "I don't know why I'm so angry," she confessed. Nova pulled her into a hug, and in that embrace, Nora felt a warmth she'd craved. Their lips met in a tentative kiss, soft and questioning. Panic surged through Nora. She pulled back, muttering apologies, and fled home. That night, lying beside Mark, guilt gnawed at her. Was she betraying her family? Society's expectations loomed large in her mind, the perfect wife, the devoted mother. But the kiss replayed endlessly, awakening desires she'd suppressed since college, when a crush on a roommate had been dismissed as a phase. The next day, Nova texted, "We need to talk." Nora ignored it, but the pull was too strong. She went over, and they sat in silence before Nova spoke. "I felt it too, Nora. But I won't push if you're not ready." Nora's resolve crumbled. She admitted her confusion, her fear of upending her life. Their secret meetings began. Stolen moments in Nova's studio, hands intertwined, conversations delving into their souls. Nora learned of Nova's conservative family who disowned her when she came out at 18. The pain of rejection that fueled her art. Nova understood Nora's terror of losing Emma, of facing judgment from friends and community. Love shouldn't cost everything, Nova whispered one afternoon, but Nora knew it would. Mark grew suspicious of her errands, arguments escalating. "Who's this Nova anyway? You're always over there." The first crack appeared when Mark found a text from Nova. "Miss you already." He confronted Nora, demanding explanations. She lied, saying it was about a photography project, but the seed of doubt was planted. Nora's internal turmoil intensified. Nights of sleepless agony, weighing her happiness against her daughter's stability. Was pursuing this love selfish? Moral debates raged in her mind. Society preached family first, but what if staying meant living a lie? One evening, during a heated argument with Mark, Nora snapped, "I'm not happy. I haven't been for years." Mark stared, hurt etching his face. "Is there someone else?" Silence hung heavy. Nora couldn't lie anymore. "Yes. And it's Nova." The words shattered the room. Mark's face contorted in shock. "Betrayal. You're gay. After all this time." He stormed out, leaving Nora crumbling on the floor. The next days blurred into chaos. Mark moved to his parents, taking Emma part-time. Whispers spread through the neighborhood, stares at the grocery store, friends distancing themselves. Nora's parents called, horrified. "Think of Emma. This is a phase, get help." The pressure mounted, societal norms crushing her spirit. Nova offered support, but even she faced backlash. Anonymous notes calling her a homewrecker. Nora questioned everything. Had she made the right choice? The damage was irreversible, relationships fractured. Yet in Nova's arms she felt authentic for the first time. But authenticity came at a price. Custody battles loomed, finances strained. One night, alone, Nora sobbed, realizing the depth of her sacrifice. The divorce proceedings began like a storm, relentless and unforgiving. Nora sat in the sterile courtroom in downtown Albany, her lawyer droning on about asset division while Mark's attorney painted her as the villain. A mother who abandoned her duties for a deviant lifestyle. The judge's gavel echoed her pounding heart, each bang a reminder of the life she'd dismantled. Nova waited outside, her presence a silent anchor, but even that couldn't quell the guilt twisting in Nora's gut. Back home, the house felt haunted by absences. Emma's toys scattered like remnants of joy, her questions piercing. "Why isn't Daddy here? Did I do something wrong?" Nora held her tight, whispering reassurances, but the lie burned. She enrolled in therapy, sessions unraveling years of denial. "You've internalized homophobia," the therapist said gently. "Society's voice became your own." Nora nodded, but the words offered little solace amid the wreckage. Nova's support was unwavering, yet cracks formed there too. One evening, as they cooked dinner in Nova's kitchen, Nora's first attempt at normalcy, Nova confessed her fears. "I never wanted to break up a family. What if this destroys us both?" Nora paused, knife hovering over vegetables. "Are you regretting it?" The question hung, charged with unspoken dread. Nova shook her head, but doubt lingered, a shadow in her eyes. Social repercussions amplified. At work, clients canceled contracts after rumors spread via social media. "We prefer family-oriented vendors," one email read. Veiled discrimination stinging like salt in wounds. Nora's best friend, Sarah, confronted her at a coffee shop. "How could you do this to Mark? To Emma? It's selfish." Nora defended herself, voice trembling. "Selfish to want to be happy? To stop pretending?" Sarah left in tears, another bond severed. Family pressure escalated. Nora's mother flew in from Florida, Bible in hand. "This is against God's plan," she declared, eyes pleading. "Come home, repent. We can fix this." Nora's father, silent but disapproving, echoed the sentiment. The confrontation peaked in the living room, voices rising. "You're choosing sin over your child," her mother shouted. Nora stood firm, tears streaming. "I'm choosing truth. Hiding who I am hurts Emma more." Her parents left, disowning her in all but name, the doors slam echoing finality. Amid the turmoil, Nova faced her own demons. Her photography business suffered. Galleries pulled exhibits after backlash from conservative patrons. Art shouldn't promote immorality, one curator sneered. Nova's ex resurfaced via text gloating. Karma for stealing someone's wife. The message ignited old wounds, making Nova withdraw. One night, she snapped at Nora over a minor disagreement. "Maybe we rushed this. Look at the mess." Nora recoiled, hurt deepening the rift. They reconciled under starlit skies, apologies whispered, but the incident highlighted vulnerabilities. Nora pondered the ethics. Was love worth the collateral damage? Philosophers debated such dilemmas, but in reality, pain was tangible. Emma's confused drawings of broken families, Mark's bitter emails demanding full custody. A turning point came at a support group for LGBTQ+ parents. Nora shared her story, voices around her echoing similar struggles. "Society forces us into boxes," one woman said. "Breaking free costs, but staying trapped costs more." Inspired, Nora fought harder in court, testifying to her love for Emma. Mark, surprisingly, softened during mediation. "I want what's best for her," he admitted, pain evident. They agreed on joint custody, a fragile truce. But peace was short-lived. Nova received a job offer in California, a chance to rebuild her career away from the scandal. "It's a fresh start," she said excitedly. Nora's heart sank. "What about us?" The question exposed the imbalance. Nova's life was mobile, Nora's rooted in responsibility. Arguments ensued, accusations flying. "You're running away," Nora yelled. Nova countered. "I'm trying to survive." The decision loomed like a guillotine. Nora weighed staying for Emma versus following her heart. Internal monologues tortured her. Am I abandoning my daughter for love? Or teaching her authenticity? Nova's ultimatum forced clarity. Come with me, or we end this. Nora chose Emma, heartbreak shattering her anew. Alone again, Nora reflected on the journey. The initial spark, the passion, the devastation. Had it been worth it? Self-discovery amid ruins, but at what cost? Friends trickled back, offering tentative support, society slowly shifting. Yet scars remained. Reconciliation attempts with Mark faltered. Their co-parenting strained by unresolved resentment. Drop-offs became battlegrounds, Emma caught in crossfire. Mommy loves someone else now, Mark explained once, his tone laced with bitterness. Emma's innocent questions. Is Nova my new mommy? Pierced Nora like daggers, amplifying her guilt. She threw herself into motherhood, attending every school event, but exhaustion mounted, her design work suffering. Nova's departure loomed, packing boxes a grim reminder. Their final nights were tense, love mingled with sorrow. I thought we could beat the odds, Nova whispered during a tearful embrace. Nora nodded, but doubt festered. Was this betrayal? Nova choosing career over them echoed Nora's own accusations against herself. The goodbye at the airport was gut-wrenching. Hugs lingering, promises of visits hollow. With Nova gone, isolation enveloped Nora. Social media became a minefield. Posts from mutual friends highlighted happy families, mocking her choices. She scrolled obsessively, comparing her fractured life to illusions of perfection. Therapy helped unpack it. You're grieving multiple losses: marriage, friendship, self-image. But sessions couldn't erase the void. A new conflict arose when Emma's school hosted a family day. Mark attended with his new girlfriend, a straight-laced accountant who fit societal norms perfectly. Nora arrived alone, whispers following her. One parent confronted her. How do you explain this to your kid? It's confusing. Nora's response was measured but firm. Love comes in many forms. Hiding it confuses more. The exchange went viral locally, polarizing opinions, some supportive, others condemning. Her parents reached out sporadically, olive branches laced with conditions. If you end this phase, we'll help with Emma. Nora refused, asserting her identity. The standoff deepened familial rifts. Holidays alone a stark contrast to past warmth. Internal debates raged. Was pride worth estrangement? Morality clashed with emotion. Choices haunting. Work offered distraction. A big client commissioned a campaign on diversity. Nora poured her soul into it, designs reflecting her struggles. The project succeeded, garnering praise and rebuilding confidence. Your authenticity shines, her boss said. For the first time, Nora felt empowered, societal judgment fading slightly. But echoes of Nova persisted. Letters arrived, Nova thriving in LA but missing her. I made a mistake leaving. Nora's heart wavered, forgiveness tempting but trust eroded. She dated casually, exploring her identity, but comparisons to Nova soured experiences. One woman too similar triggered memories, another too different felt forced. Emma's adaptation surprised Nora. I like having two homes, she said one day, drawing pictures of extended families. The innocence inspired hope, but challenges remained. Bullying at school over two mommies, though Nora wasn't dating. She addressed it head-on, educating teachers, fostering resilience in Emma. Mark's evolution added layers. Over coffee, he admitted. I was hurt, but I see now, you were suffering too. A tentative friendship formed, united by parenthood. Yet undercurrents of pain lingered, decisions irreversible. Nora volunteered at an LGBTQ+ center, mentoring others in similar binds. Stories mirrored hers. Hidden desires, familial rejection, societal scorn. The price of truth is high, she told a young woman. But living a lie is higher. The role healed her, purpose emerging from ashes. Nova's return visit shattered the fragile peace. She appeared at Nora's door, eyes pleading. I want to try again. Temptation surged, but Nora hesitated, weighing past damages. What about the hurt we caused? The reunion sparked passion, but reality intruded. Emma's confusion, Mark's wariness. They navigated cautiously, secrets no longer viable. Public outings drew stares, but Nora stood tall, embracing visibility. Conflicts arose. Nova's impatience with suburban life clashed with Nora's commitments. I can't uproot everything, Nora argued. Nova countered, then we're stuck in limbo. A betrayal surfaced when Nova confessed contacting Mark, pleading for understanding. I wanted to make amends. Nora felt violated, trust fracturing. You went behind my back. The fight escalated, doors slamming, echoes of initial turmoil. In solitude, Nora pondered morality. Was rekindling selfish? The cycle threatened repetition, damages compounding. She chose space, Nova leaving again, heartbreak doubled. Reflection brought clarity. Love required sacrifice, but not destruction. Nora focused on self-growth, therapy yielding insights. You deserve happiness without apology. Society shifts, legal protections, cultural acceptance, aided healing, though prejudices persisted. Emma thrived, her openness a testament to Nora's choices. Love is love, right, Mom? She asked, hugging tight. Nora smiled through tears, affirming. Yet, questions lingered. Had the journey justified the pain? Months blurred into a routine of quiet resilience for Nora. She redesigned her home office. Walls adorned with Nova's old photos. Reminders of love lost but lessons gained. Work flourished. The diversity campaign led to speaking engagements at conferences, where she shared her story to applause and criticism alike. You're brave, some said. Irresponsible, others muttered. Nora absorbed it, her skin thickening against judgment. Family dynamics shifted glacially. Her sister called, bridging the parental gap. Mom and Dad are stubborn, but they miss Emma. A tentative visit ensued, awkward but progress. Nora's mother avoided the topic, focusing on grandchildren, but her father pulled her aside. I don't understand, but I love you. Tears flowed, mending beginning. Mark remarried, his wedding a bittersweet event. Nora attended for Emma, smiling through envy. His wife, kind but cautious, extended friendship. We're all family now. Co-parenting improved, shared holidays normalizing the unconventional. Nova's absence weighed heavy, sporadic calls laced with longing. LA feels empty without you. Nora resisted, prioritizing stability. But fate intervened. A gallery show brought Nova back to New York. They met at a cafe, tension electric. "I've changed," Nova claimed. "Grown from the mistakes." Nora's heart raced, old flames igniting. They reconnected slowly, dates under city lights evoking early days. But shadows loomed, Nova's career demands, Nora's rooted life. Conflicts resurfaced. "You want me to move?" Nova asked. Nora shook her head. "Compromise." The word became their mantra, but implementation faltered. Societal pressures tested them. At a pride event, they held hands publicly, drawing cheers and jeers. A heckler shouted slurs, triggering Nova's defensiveness. "Ignore them," Nora urged, but the incident unearthed fears. Internal monologues clashed. Nora craved acceptance. Nova confrontation. Betrayal struck again when Nora discovered Nova had hidden a fling in LA. It was nothing, just loneliness. The confession shattered trust. "How could you?" Nora screamed, echoes of Mark's pain mirroring hers. Nova begged forgiveness, but damage was done. The breakup was final, Nora blocking contact. Heartache consumed her, therapy sessions intense. Patterns repeat if unaddressed, her therapist noted. Nora delved deeper, uncovering childhood influences, strict upbringing stifling expression. Empowerment emerged through activism. She joined boards advocating for LGBTQ+ rights, lobbying against discrimination. Successes, policy changes, community support, validated her path. But personal tolls accumulated. Loneliness nights, Emma's questions about Aunt Nova. A new suitor appeared. Alex, a teacher at Emma's school, kind and understanding. Dates were tentative, no sparks like Nova, but comfort. Nora pondered, settle for safe or risk again. Morality debated, deserve passion or prioritize peace. Emma's 10th birthday party highlighted growth. Mark, his wife, Nora's family, all together, tensions eased. Laughter filled the yard. A tapestry of blended lives. Nora watched, grateful yet wistful. Nova's unexpected call disrupted equilibrium. "I'm back for good. Let's talk." Temptation battled wisdom. They met, closure the goal. "We hurt too many," Nora said. Nova nodded, tears falling. "But I love you." Parting as friends, Nora reflected on sacrifices. The marriage dissolved, family strained, heart scarred. Yet authenticity prevailed, self-worth intact. Society evolved around her. Acceptance grew, but prejudices lingered. Nora mentored youth, sharing, "Choices define us, costs shape us." In quiet moments she wondered, was the forbidden love a mistake, or catalyst for truth? Years passed, scars fading into stories Nora told selectively. At 35, she balanced career highs with motherhood joys. Emma, now a preteen navigating her own identities. "Mom, what if I like girls?" Emma asked one day, eyes wide. Nora hugged her, voice steady. "Then that's wonderful. Love who you love." The moment affirmed her journey's worth, rippling effects positive. Mark's family thrived, his support unwavering. "You've taught me tolerance," he admitted during a school play. Nora smiled, forgiveness mutual. Her parents fully reconciled. Attending pride parades awkwardly but earnestly. "We're learning," her mother said, hugging tight. Nova faded into memory, her art occasionally popping up online, successful but distant. Nora dated sporadically, finding fulfillment in independence. A promotion to creative director brought travel, exposing her to diverse communities where her story resonated. But echoes of drama resurfaced when a documentary filmmaker contacted her. "Your experience represents many, share it?" Nora hesitated, weighing exposure's costs. Internal conflict brewed. Relive pain for others' benefit? Ethics demanded yes, self-preservation no. She agreed, the film delving deep. Interviews with Mark, her parents, even Nova via video. Revelations stung. Nova admitted regret. "I pushed too hard." Mark confessed ignorance. "I missed the signs." The process cathartic, Nora confronting lingering resentments. Release brought backlash. Conservative groups protested, calling it propaganda. Online trolls harassed, dredging old wounds. But support outweighed, messages from struggling women. You gave me courage. Impact validated sacrifices, moral quandaries resolved. Emma starred in the film briefly, her poise inspiring. My mom's brave, she said on camera. Pride swelled in Nora, the ultimate payoff. A reunion with Nova at the premiere was inevitable. They embraced, years melting. I'm proud of you, Nova whispered. No rekindling, just closure. We were right for a time, Nora replied. Life stabilized, Nora authoring a book on her experiences. Bestseller status affirming transformation. Royalties funded scholarships for LGBTQ+ youth, paying forward. In reflection, the initial borrow of sugar symbolized more, a catalyst for upheaval, growth. Conflicts, internal, familial, societal, forged strength. Damages healed, lessons eternal. Yet, one question lingered, sparking debates in book clubs and forums. Was pursuing personal truth at the expense of family bonds ultimately right or wrong?